looked for the torque spec on that one and it said 28 newton meters, which is very That's a captive nut, that does not come off.
2011 93 model. Okay, so I'm doing this video because to replace this power steering pipe here, the power steering cooling pipe, there doesn't seem to be a video on YouTube about how to do it and the parts you need and what you need to take off. There is a video about how to take the bumper off. That's the Saab 2011 93 model convertible in the garage. That's the bumper off it. There's plenty of videos, or at least one video that someone's made about how to take the bumper off. It's not really difficult. There's 3 bolts in each wheel arch, one facing up, one there, you can't see, another one lower down. He does advise in the video, you can see it better on this side, he does advise in his video that you're better off turning the steering wheel to get those out. They're 8mm, and then there's 3 which run across. I'll show you the top of them. They go into that fitting, another one in the middle and one there, which mine rusted off down to 7mm, so I ended up using mould grips to get those off. Okay, so this is the high pressure power steering pipe. Runs from up here next to the power steering reservoir. You'll see just here, that's a 19mm bolt. Again, there's a video about how to take that off and redo the fittings on here. It runs way down there. I'll show you the entire pipe later on, the new pipe that I've got, replacement. Okay, so it runs from here as a solid pipe, goes down to flexible pipe, down there, runs along behind the radiator and through to here. Once it gets through here, it runs across through a little piece support there, rubber one, which I'm going to show you the next bit of how to get that off, and runs along here to this union. Okay, so the bit I bought goes from where I've just shown you at the top down to this union. I'm not going to replace this bit on the other side, although it does look a bit rusty. That runs back to the rack then. Okay, across here and back to the rack. So the first thing you've got to do obviously is take the bumper off. Once you've got the bumper off, the next bit you'll find is here, which just unhooks. Little polystyrene foam bit which unhooks from there. You've then got 3 bolts to take this bracket off. 30mm, these are already loose, so they come off dead easy. Three 30mm, one there in the middle. Don't comment on this one because I haven't put them in, and I'm going to put them back on the studs. I'll get this out of the way. I'm just doing this to show you. So this is the next bit. This metal bracket comes off. Okay. So put the studs back, nuts back on the studs, so I don't lose them. We know where they go. And that reveals the little rubber P clip here. But that one is a 10mm. And I've already had that loose, so I'm going to take that off with the 10mm socket. Okay, that releases the P clip. Again, good practice to put the nut back in again, or the bolt, whichever it is. Okay, which brings us to this one here. So to crack this union off, what you're going to need is 19mm spanner, and I've used a big adjustable, which is it's a bit more than 90. It's probably about 21, but I've got a 21 spanner. So this one is a 19. That one there is also a 19, and that one in the middle is a bit bigger. I don't like using adjustables, but you know, you've got to do these things sometimes. So the next job then is to crack this. This one is, as you'd expect, lefty loosey. Okay, and that one's going to come undone nicely. Alright, on the pipe I've got, it's already got this union piece, and it's already got this piece fitted in, so I'm not going to disturb that one on the new pipe. This one's actually leaking from here. Alright, and this is high pressure, so there's no way you're going to connect a Jubilee, put a rubber hose over it or anything like that to repair it. Okay, so I hope this video is useful for somebody. It's only 5 minutes long, and we'll see if it gets any views on YouTube. Good luck everyone. Welcome to part 2. So the next bit where you're going to get burnt is this piece at the front. So that sits there. So you think you're going to go taking that bolt off, that nut off. Okay, so I started tearing into the car a little bit more. As you can see, that pipe there, that U-shaped pipe, even though it comes off at this union here, there's no way that's coming past this bracket. So first thing that you're going to notice is there's a 30mm nut there. Take that off. I think that affects that down. No, it doesn't. Well, then what you're going to do is you're going to notice another 30mm nut there. That's a captive nut, that does not come off, that's why it's rounded. What you have to do is take this 30mm bolt out of there. Okay, I'll do that now. Obviously mine are all finger tight because it's a lot easier to take your car apart if you don't do things up. When you do that, the under tray drops down and the bracket will come straight off. Okay, so you think you've cracked it there, put that nut back on. And the bolt back into this bracket, straight through there into what you can now see is definitely a captive nut. Okay, so put that back together, add that to the collection of parts. The next thing you realise is that this bracket on the right hand side is also in the way. So same as the left hand side, three 30mm nuts, and that takes this bracket off. Again, keep that to one side. You think, right, well, we're well away now. Where do these pipes go? Where they go is behind this panel, this plastic panel here. It's held on by a 10mm nut here. You take that off. There's then another, well, mine just fell off. The reason it fell off is because there's this little clip just here. See that? You push the tab. So you push that tab up there, and that slides it out the slot. There was another one of these annoying 8mm screw fittings down there as well underneath. So you just need yourself an 8mm socket like that to get that off. Okay, and it's a good thing you did, because if you look here, the two pipes that run around the front are fastened together from the inside. So there's no way you're going to get that pipe off without a lot of fight and a lot of damage. So you're going to have to undo the bolt at the back there. Right, I haven't done that yet. So I can't tell you what size it is. I imagine it's a 10. Well, we're on a part 2 and we're already 2.5 minutes into it. Some torch on the job. So we've got a 90mm bolt there, Banjo bolt. Runs down here and runs down into this pipe there. And you can see down there, past the torch, it's clipped in. It's one of these needle nose plier jobs to get that undone, and then that hopefully runs down. You should be able to see it right down there where we found that awkward fitting. So hopefully by having torn all this lot off the car, you're getting somewhere close to being able to get that pipe off. I'm in two minds whether I should have taken it to the garage and let them do all of this and pay them loads of money for it, or struggle on myself. As I'm this far into it, I think I'll struggle on myself. I also think it may be necessary, I mean, what you also notice on this car is unusual, it's got LPG conversion, so this pipe won't be on other people's cars, and this little pipe here, that's the gas pipe and that's the lubricant pipe. You will have this big pipe here, this is a turbo pipe, which goes to the inlet from down here from the intercooler. So this pipe may need to come off to get better access, but you won't have the trouble here trying to access it, because you won't have all this gas injector system on it. You just have this bit here, which is the injectors and the injector rail cabling. Okay, good. So that's another 4 minutes of my life gone. Good luck everyone. Okay, so I've got the old part off. I've taken the clip off that was up here. It went just there. The P-clip's in good condition with the rubber on it, which is good because the part I bought has a P-clip on it. It's just the neighbour smashing the place up. But there's no rubber on it. As you can see, there's no rubber on there, so that's going to rattle around. So I should take the original rubber P-clip off. They give me another one of those, which was also put on the wrong way around. Look, also annoying. Shan't be doing that when I put this on the car. As you can see, the part's in much better condition, no rust on that whatsoever. And as described, he says it's painted green. It is. Wish mine was painted green. Never mind. So that was from Simply Saab in Bristol, in England. They had the one on the shelf. That's it. 2007 to 2000 and whatever, till they stopped. That's the part that he used on the 2 litre petrol. Didn't tell you that, did he? 2 litre petrol. 1.8 TU, but it's a 2 litre petrol. Right, so you can see where the part used to be, and that bit there, that uni fitting, that does rotate. That worried me a lot yesterday, that wasn't going to rotate on the pipe. Of course you can see it's completely different material, metal to the pipe, so it does in fact rotate around the pipe, so it's not such a worry. Okay, so that's the pipe fitted. You can see better now. I've decided to turn the torch on. So new clip on here, clips it to the frame. The Banjo bolt's in. They didn't supply a new Banjo bolt or a new special washer thing, whatever you call that. So I've used the original one. I haven't torqued it yet. It's tight, but it's not torqued. When you come to put the pipe through, make sure that the top pipe and the bottom pipe line up like these do. Okay, otherwise you're going to have problems later on. And I've improved on Saab's design. Look, I've put the nut in the bolt so you can get at it. Better if that was in focus. Okay, and you can see under here, this pipe runs around the back of the turbo pipe. That's a big fat turbo pipe there, runs around the back of it. You're looking at the green one, and then along the front, because it needs to come up in front of where that Jubilee clip is, which you can just see it there. Just there, that's it there, running across as a flexible. Then it runs up here. Oh, I told a lie, you can't see it, it's underneath the turbo pipe. Runs up here, clips on with that funny little U-shaped clip, and then this fitting comes up here to the Banjo bolt. Nice and simple. There's very little effort to put that on. It took a lot more effort to take it apart. So hopefully these videos will help somebody else take it apart a bit faster than I did. And obviously then all I've got to do is put all of these spare parts here, that bit, all of those, apart from P-clip without the rubber on it, all of those have to go back on here along with the bumper, which is still sitting there on the driveway. And this video is the wrong way around. Let's start again. So let's start with the money shot. There is the pipe fitted, and it's fitted from this union here, 90mm to that is, this bit is bigger than 22. I've got 22mm span, it's bigger than that, so it's either 23, 24 or something like that. Okay, so that's the new green pipe across the top. The original P-clip there with the rubber on it. That's refitted, that's 10mm bolt there. And then it runs around here. Make sure that when you put this on and you fasten this clip up there, that these pipes are one above the other. You don't want this new one sticking out or being too close to the well, anything else. It doesn't need to, it just needs to be fitted. That's actually what, I know that was annoying, that bit there was very annoying, but that keeps the pipes parallel, stops it moving about, because from that point backwards underneath it is not supported by anything. Okay, so it runs there. This is a big fat turbo pipe, intercooler pipe, so it runs around that and then snakes underneath it. We go up into the engine bay. So you can see the turbo pipe down there with the new power steering pipe underneath it, and then this bit comes up just there as a flexible. I've replaced this little clip just there, clips into the side of that bracketry, and it comes up here as a metal pipe again and up to the Banjo fitting. Now if that leaks in the future I may have to replace that washer, and I haven't torqued it down yet. That's 90mm. 19mm, that's upside down, annoys me when they do that. 19mm bolt there, and I'll find out what the torque specs are for that and do it up properly. And the same goes for this one. At the moment that one is fully tight, so that needs torquing to whatever it suggests. And then it's just a matter of rebuilding everything. You see sitting on the car here, the cover, the plastic piece, these two polystyrene pieces, that front bracket that's got the captive nut on, which I mentioned earlier, two metal brackets. That's the left hand one, I put that on the left hand side of the car. Oh, that's a GM part as well, who'd have thunk it. And that's a GM part as well. They may be the same, but I'm going to put them back where they came from all the same, just to be right. And if you've got a leaky condenser like I have for the air conditioning, this would be a fantastic time to change it, because as you can see, that's one fitting there and the other one's right there. Although you've still got to get it out of the car, so I imagine you've got to take all this top panel off as well. Yeah. That's a job for another. It's not even cold. And of course everything's rusty on that as well. I think a bit of WD-40 on that might be a good move for the future. Make it a bit easy to get that off there, as they look like torques to me, and rusty torques at that. Anyway, I'm rambling. So, rebuilding. There's a reverse of putting it back together. No, it's putting it back together. There's a reverse of taking it apart, and that's the next job. And well, that's the end of these 3 short videos. I hope it helps somebody. Okay, there's a part 4. The reason there's a part 4 is because I couldn't get the bumper back on. Everything else has gone together nicely. Came to put the bumper on, thought that's going to be the easy job. So that's roughly how it should fit when you lift it into place. So now what I'm going to do is take it off again so that you can see the mistake I made, and you won't make the same one. Right, so that's enough as I need to take off to show you. See the fog light down there, and this piece of black plastic foam stuff. Okay. There's one on each side, and if you do what I did and think left means left and right means right, you're wrong. That one's got an R on it, and that means R when you're sitting in the car. The other one's got a left on it, and you can see the shape of it. It follows the bumper, yeah? So as soon as you put that one the right way around, your bumper will drop on very nicely. And you do lift it into place, and it will immediately drop into. You can see how they're going to position themselves. They're going to fit the shape of the bumper. And if you don't get them the right way around, you end up in a world of pain and walking away from the job like I did. So there you go, part 4. And see, one-handed. On one-handed, practically on already. Doesn't fight you at all. So if it's fighting you to get back on, then you know you've got a problem with those bits of foam. Everything else is just dropping nicely. Free tip Friday. It's not even Friday, it's Wednesday. Okay. That's it. You can see how easily that's all fitting into place. Those bits fit in, those are going underneath the lights, just like they should. The holes are lining up, so that hole takes a bit of a fight. One of these Torx bolts. These other ones take the push pins. And as I said, if it doesn't go on that easily, it means you're doing something wrong, which I was. That's why it wouldn't fit. Okay, everything should fit together very, very easily like that. And there's still the bolts underneath to fit in, but there's no leak from the power steering. Oh, the other word on the power steering is it's this make and model, which is 1099 from OK Motor Save. CHF11011S, and it takes more than half a litre because that's what I had left and I put it in. You can see there's no leak from that joint now, nice and clean and dry, and surprisingly there's no leak from, where's it gone?
from there either. There's no leak. I looked for the torque spec on that one and it said 28 Newton meters, which isn't very much at all. So I put a tiny bit more on and it's not leaking. Oh, pleased with that job. A lot easier than I thought it was going to be. The worst bit was getting the bumper off and on here. There we go, part 4. Finished job, nearly. Thanks, bye.